Hey there, hi, I'm Jenn Rice, and I wanted to share with you guys today, it was an article I was just reading about this gal who was having some serious health issues at the age of 42, and basically it had been like a sequelae of her really not paying attention to herself. So she lives in Scotland, so this isn't just a U.S. thing, and basically she was a busy mom, 42 years old, single mom of three gals, and she was just doing what we all do, which is, go to work and do the best we can for our families, be there as much as we can, but often we have to put our own health aside a bit, or we feel like we do, in order to serve the people around us, the best we can. So, things like our daily walk, or going to the gym, or a bike ride, or whatever you love to do, can be pushed aside because you have other responsibilities, and that's normal. But her story really struck me, so I wanted to share it. So she was going along, having a little bit of health symptoms, like this minor chest pain that would come and go. So she'd be doing something in particular, like not even exercising, but maybe laundry or what have you, and she'd get a little bit of chest pain. Didn't really think much of it. It would come and go. So one day she's at work, and her chest pain is much worse than it had been before, and one of her colleagues was rightfully concerned and called an ambulance. So she went into the ER, and she was having a heart attack at the age of 42. And so for her, she says, because I want to read because I think it's helpful. She said, "I think this was very much a light bulb moment." And I think a heart attack at 42 would be a major light bulb moment. Thanks, you guys, for jumping on. I see you jumping on here. I'm just sharing this story about this woman, Jenn, who, I don't know her, but she was in this article, and I was reading it, and it really struck me because of her heart attack at the age of 42. And she really attributed the reasons behind it to the lack of self-care time that she was taking for herself. She wasn't managing her stress very well. She wasn't managing her diet very well. There were just multiple things that led up to it. Now, she ended up being fine, so to speak. She had a little bit of damage, but, is highly functioning, there for her daughters, all of that. But she went on to make a lot of big changes. And so what I wanted to do was kind of encourage today, and also share the dangers of ignoring your health. So, I've personally, let me find a little shade here, hopefully. I've personally been there myself. This last year has been a journey for me back to health. It's not that I'm saying you can't have a stressful job or you can't do things that are stressful, but you can learn to manage it and maybe work in some things that are helpful to your overall, well-being. Because what good are we if we're not, we're not well enough to be there for the people we love, which is why we do all the things we do in the first place, right? So I want to name, 4 things that I think you can do immediately. And these are some things that I started to do, and I think they've been helpful. So number 1 is make a weekly plan. So you're kind of making a plan of what you're going to eat for the week. You're at least doing some planning ahead of what you're going to bring to lunch, or what you're going to have as meals, or just kind of how the week is going to look food-wise. And then you can also make a plan with how the week is going to look for you exercise-wise. I mean, there may be times during the week that you're just not going to be able to get to maybe a certain class you like that's an hour long, but there's 15 minutes somewhere. Like even right now, I'm just walking up towards our clubhouse. It's not like a huge big workout. It's just going to be a short in and out. And you kind of schedule that in to where it works for you. And so making that weekly plan. And then number 2 is, of course, scheduling in not only like we talked about in the meal planning and the movement, but you got to schedule in that time that's maybe 10 minutes, even 10 minutes of stress reduction. So they talk about making a list of stress busters so that you have that list around all the time. And if you're feeling like you're not sure what to do with the 10 minutes you've scheduled on your phone, you can bring out your stress buster list. Maybe it's a game on your phone. Maybe it's surfing. I don't know if surfing Facebook would be necessarily what they're talking about, because it seems like it should be more mindfulness. Maybe it's drawing, like I say, playing a game, doing a meditation, going through a prayer, whatever can work for you, but making sure you have that close to you, either on the phone or somewhere saved on maybe it's in a notebook you carry around, so that when you have that 5 minutes, you can just dive right into it. And make sure, if you don't right now take 5 to 10 minutes a day for like mindfulness, that you start scheduling that on your phone, because I will tell you, I will skip that. That will be the first thing to go for me, because I'll say, oh no, I'm busy. I gotta do this thing, or I gotta do that thing. And really, you need to schedule it. Okay, and then the third thing is to, as far as hydration goes and taking care of yourself, maybe bringing certain jugs of water to work. Like maybe you have 2 thermoses or 2, of those Yeti containers. And maybe you're going to say to yourself, I'm going to drink 1 of these through my whole workday, or I'm going to drink 2 of them. But they could be like small, specific plans for the day that have you in mind. Maybe you're going to bring your supplements with you to work. Maybe you're going to make sure you're going to drink a certain protein shake, or have something that's very good for your health during your day. And so you want to plan that ahead. Okay, so last thing is starting small. So this is the big take home. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day. For me, it's been a whole year of like self-correction, course correction, just mindset correction, as far as, I think it takes a lot of work to make big changes in our health. But, when I hear about someone who's 42 having a heart attack, and I mean, obviously, over time, I've seen a lot of patients where things have happened with family or friends or them that are uncommon for their age. But if we're going to be having, stress, which is inevitable, there are other things we can do to help better prepare ourselves, so that we don't end up with an outcome that was really different from Jenn's, which is, she was okay. She's there for her 3 daughters. She's, it sounds like no sequelae, but we know that it can go a lot of different ways. And so, for me, as someone in my mid-40s, I'm trying to put this like priority 1. So you saw by the title of the video, are you an option or are you a priority? So let's not make ourselves so optional, and try to really schedule in the priority, and starting small is key. So if you guys found value in this video today, please, consider sharing it. And certainly if you yourself have taken steps that could help someone else, like maybe you've scheduled certain things, or you use an app for this or that, I would love to hear from you, and I'm sure it'd be helpful to anybody watching. If you like this content, I have a business page, Jenn Rice International, which is here on Facebook, and I put a little bit more out as far as health and functional medicine specifically, and some dermatology, but you can certainly go over there and check it out. And I hope you guys have a great week, and have a great 4th. Take care.